guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. Now, today's suggestion, I actually did a sketch for this a while ago on Twitch. Someone redeemed it, I think, for a sketch commission, and so I was really excited to actually do a full piece of this, but Dirty Dishes suggest, what about a beholder dragon? I love the D&D cross-reference for this one, and I was really excited to take a beholder from Dungeons & Dragons and mix it with a dragon. So like I said before, I have done a headshot sketch of my interpretation of a beholder in the past. I think, ooh man, if I can remember, I give myself 10 points, but maybe it was Jam, yeah, from the Twitch community. I can't remember for sure who requested the beholder dragon, but I did do like a little mini sketch of it. And so it was nice to think about, well, now I get to fully realize it, like make a full body, fully rendered beholder dragon with just all these eyes and tentacles and just make it really cool and intimidating. And I was just so excited for this one. So first off, I started off with the rough sketches, trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to do this. For those of you who don't know what a beholder is, I would Google it for sure. But basically it's this Dungeons & Dragons monster that looks like kind of like a floating cyclops head, and then it has like Medusa eyeballs all over it. It basically just has all these tentacle, snake-like shaped things coming out of its floating giant head, and all of them have eyeballs at the end of it. So, of course, I had to make the dragon a cyclops, since the beholder is also a cyclops, and then we just had to do all these cool tentacle eyeballs all over it. But then from there, that's kind of the basics of what I kind of had to do to make this for sure a beholder dragon. So I got to play around with, I guess, the rest of it. Like, did I want him to look more villainous or friendly or anything like that? But for sure, for this one, I wanted him to look villainous. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but at least in all the times I've played Dungeons & Dragons, beholders tend to be kind of like evil. Evil. They tend to be bad guys, but are stupid smart and can range from like chaotic neutral to like chaotic evil. If I remember correctly, I haven't played enough D&D, but at least in the times that I have that there's a beholder in the game. Yeah, let's correct that. I've played a lot of D&D, but I haven't played a lot of campaigns with beholders. I think I've only fought one twice. And I think it just kind of depends on the DM, because those creatures are just like smart. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. So if you want the full classification of a beholder, go check out the monster manual, the D&D monster manual. But if I remember correctly, they speak via telepathy. Ooh, I could be wrong. But you know what? I'm just gonna make it that way for this dragon. I could see this thing being in the chaotic neutral zone. Yes, that or chaotic evil. I'd be cool with either, but I could see this dragon just using its telepathy powers for evil, but also just being kind of this really, I guess, troublemaker, trickster, kind of shitty guy that messes with you and your emotions and your feelings and just messes with people just to mess with them. So now with the rough sketch kind of concepting out of the way, it was time to jump in and do the full body piece. And I've been trying really hard to keep up with these full body things, since you guys really like when I do the full creature and not just a headshot. It might happen again sometime in the future, but for now I'm able to do full bodies with the time I have. So we had to jump in, and I really wanted to highlight the head and the eye, so I wanted that to be kind of the big focal point, and then the body I was thinking was going to be much more secondary. So in the concepting for at least the overall body shape, I wanted to have a lot of the tentacle eyeball things all over, but most of them condensed on the head, since, I mean, a beholder is just a floating head, so you could argue that there's eyes all over its body, even though its body is just a giant head. But I wanted to make sure that that was the most condensed area on this dragon with the eyeballs, and it kind of gives it a really fun Medusa-like look. And then from there, I also wanted it to go down kind of the side of it and on its back, just lots of little tentacle eyeballs. So how I figured out where I wanted to place them was I did like the little oval shapes and then connected the ovals to where they would on the body with the tentacles. So that kind of gave me an idea of where the eyes would be. And then along with that, I also added a really big eyeball to the back of its tail. I mean, You would never be able to sneak up on this thing. Between its telepathy powers and then just having eyeballs everywhere, I feel you would have to roll really good on stealth. And even that, I think he would have a pretty good advantage or some type of ability that makes it so you can't really sneak up on it. So then finally, with the sketch done, it was time to jump into doing the line work, which is one of my favorite things. Like, doing inking is so much fun, but God, this guy took so long. Between all the eyeballs and all the little tentacles, God, I think I was working on this thing for at least just the inking part. I think the inking took me about 1 to 2 hours total on and off. Maybe I'm like overestimating. I can't remember 100% for sure, but it did take a very, very long time. And then of course, later on, it's gonna take a while to color it because I had to color every single one of those little eyeballs, every single one of the little tentacles, and just having all the little bits of detail throughout this entire thing. But it was super fun, and like, I totally zoned out. I wanted to share with you guys because I can't remember if it was last episode or the episode before. Someone pointed out that they saw that I was listening to the Harry Potter books, and I can't remember if I said this in an episode already, but I am currently on the Order of the Phoenix, and God, my soul has been crushed at the hospital with the long bottoms. Oh man, that was tough. That's where I am right now. But I'm binging all of the books and kind of reliving my childhood through the audiobooks. And it's just so fitting to listen to like a magical fantasy book when I'm drawing these majestic and fantastical dragons. It just works so well, and I can just get lost and get really angry at Umbridge because God, she infuriates me every time she's in this freaking book. So now finally, with all the line work done and out of the way, it's time to jump in and do some colors. So the idea that I picked for coloring this Beholder dragon was kind of based off of the Beholder that you see in the Monster Manual. So the couple ones that I have seen within the Monster Manual or other Dungeons & Dragons illustrations, they're either this like purplish reddish color, purple, or like this pinkish red. I think those are the three I've seen. I think they come in a bunch of different colors, but for me, the one I think of all the time is a purplish reddish color with these really bright red or orange eyes, and I knew that's what I wanted to do right off the bat. I just love that coloring for Beholders, and I thought it would look really sick on this dragon. So I first started out by kind of blocking out the highlight area in this bright red. Then I go in with the mid-tone, which is its skin tone, and then I really wanted to make this thing dramatic, like really push the darks and lights. So I did this very dark purplish color for the shadows, and I really, really like it. It added like a very interesting depth and kind of more of a comic book style. I think that's what I've been liking about these 100 Dragons in general. They tend to lean more on my experience doing comic books and more like, I guess you could call cell shading and doing like hard shading edges. And I just really like doing that type of style. And I don't know why I don't do it more in my digital work. I do it here and there, but my digital work is just kind of a mix of this type of style, like cell shading, and I I don't know how else to describe it, but I guess, yeah, let's just say it's a mix of cell shading and then trying to dabble into more loose shading, like soft shading, I guess you could say. So that's kind of my digital work, but here I really wanted to push the dramatic lighting and extreme edges of the shadow and highlights, and I absolutely love it. It makes it super dramatic, really makes the shadows pop, and it kind of looks like, you know, someone just turned a corner down a long dungeon hall and just found this thing with its with their torch. It kind of looks like the red is the bright shining light of a torch. It'd probably be more of like a magical fire, since the torch would probably cast more of an orangey yellow color. This one looks like it's kind of a magic red fire. So that's what I'm gonna go with. A wizard or some type of magic folk in D&D is casting fireball or something, and I could see them having it just kind of floating ahead of the party just a little bit, and it's this red ball of flame, and they just turn the corner in a very dark and dank dungeon, and they see this thing at the end with all these glowing red and orange eyes. Ooh, that'd be creepy. Oh, I think this guy, I might have to put him in the monster manual. Yeah, this guy would be really cool to have an encounter against. I don't want all of my monster manual or creature compendium. I don't want it all to be dragons, but there's just some really cool dragons from the 100 Dragon Challenge that I know I'm going to include just because they're so unique and different and interesting. And then I think to top it all off, I can just imagine them being like fought against in D&D and how cool those encounters could be. So for sure, this guy would be really cool to have in some type of dungeon or cave or some other encounter in a very dark space. And like I said, I could see him being like really witty and smart and just messing with adventurers. I think it would make a very interesting dynamic and something that like DMs could really ham up and play. Like, that would be really fun to just kind of be the sassy, kind of shitty beholder dragon and giving the players so much crap. Oh, that'd be really cool. So I think for sure we're gonna have to put this guy in the monster manual. All right, so we are getting close to finishing this guy up. I also added a little bit of a pop of purple with its chest because, like I said, the other beholder color I see is purple, so I thought it'd be really nice to have another similar color palette that is used for this monster accompanying it on its chest, and it's a nice change of color. I think it works well in keeping this guy like a dark, evil-looking thing, but the pop of purple I absolutely love. And then I added some highlights with my gel pen, and there we go. We are all done with this really creepy, intimidating boy. And I would love to see your guys' interpretations of this, because beholders I think you could make into a bunch of different cool dragons. But let's go ahead and look at last week's Valentine's dragons. So first off, Titanic. I think the one is supposed to be an I-49. I absolutely love your dragon. It's like a very cute bat dragon-ish snake combo, and I love that it's holding the big I love you candy. I love those candies. I ate way too many, even though they just taste like chalk. I don't know why I love them. And then Crossikin. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. I love your, I guess, kind of dragon-lion combo. It's really cool, and I like the gray because it helps the different hearts pop, and then your horns are super cute too. They just look like little hearts and are adorable, and I love the big heart nose. Really great job, and everyone else, awesome jobs. There was like really cute interpretations of like two dragons being all cute and cuddly together, and then some looked more like butterflies with their heart wings, and so many good things. And then AD Normal, just gonna call it out here, I love your Valentine's Cosmic Dragon shipping thing on Twitter. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. So again, if you guys would like to post your interpretation of the Beholder Dragon, make sure to post it on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag KM100Dragons by next week, Thursday, so it can be featured in the next episode. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go and hit that subscribe button. I have new videos every week, and I am really having a lot of fun with the 100 Dragon Challenge, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.